I begin this conversation with Mr. K.R. Subhash Chandran, who is representing Nimisha Priya. Mr. Chandran, can you explain how exactly are you assisting Nimisha Priya?
So actually, when we came to know about this Nimisha's case, she was charged for murder. We realized that she is a victim of the war. Actually, this incident, the alleged incident, happened during the internal conflict in Yemen, and
Yes.
she was not extended any kind of legal defense there. She was not represented by a lawyer. She didn't get a proper legal defense there. So we decided, and she was forced to sign many documents in Arabic language. She was not well known to the Arabic language, so there was no interpreters, no media. This means document translators. So she had to sign in the Arabic language many documents, and which led to her capital punishment. So the trial court convicted her, sentenced her for capital punishment, which was upheld by the First Appellate Court and the Supreme Judicial Council there. Then yesterday, the unfortunate news came that the president of the Yemen has given the approval for the execution. So still, there are some possibility. We are hopeful because this punishment was given according to the Sharia law. The Sharia law prevails in Yemen. So according to Sharia law, if the family of the victim is giving the pardon by receiving the blood money, the accused can be saved their life. So in this case, the family is not yet discussed about. They were not came to the negotiation table. So the initial negotiations or the initial discussions were happened with the tribal leaders only
But,
in
but Mr.
Yemen.
Chandran, has the family refused to come to the negotiation table, or is there some other problem that's being faced?
So actually, the Indian government has, when we raised this issue, when we approached the Delhi High Court for the travel of the travel permission for the Miss Nimisha's mother, so the government has means extended their support by appointing a lawyer there. So she was represented by a lawyer in the Supreme Judicial Council, who then later on informed us he is ready to negotiate with the tribal leaders, for which they demanded 40,000 USD, it means around 38 lakh Indian rupees, which we paid in two installments. We have paid around 38 lakhs to this the local lawyer there for the negotiation with the tribal leaders. They called it for pre-negotiation money, and which we paid to them. The Save Nimisha International Action Council raised this amount from the public, and we have transferred this through Indian Embassy. So still we didn't get any relief. So we are requesting, we are urging the Indian government to intervene to this issue. Now only the Indian government can intervene to this issue for reaching out to the family, the victim's family, and bringing them to the negotiation table. So we are not asking the government to pay even a single penny. The Nimisha Priya International Action Council is ready to raise the fund, whatever amount is demanded by the family as blood money. But we need the support from the Indian government to bring them to the negotiation table.
But Mr. Chandran, I want to understand, you must have read all the papers and the procedures. You said Nimisha Priya was not extended any sort of legal help as far as local help in Yemen is concerned. But what really was the case, was the basis of the court's decision then?
Yeah, that's why she had to sign in many papers, and which is later came to know that that's some admission. She admitted this her alleged offense there, but she at that time she was not given any kind of support. There is no translators were not there, no interpreters were there. So she signed many Arabic documents, which led to her capital punishment, as it was her admission in that stage. So then the same was the punishment was upheld by the First Appellate Court, and the Supreme Judicial Council reviewed it and rejected her appeal. So this has happened. She didn't get a proper trial because it was during the internal conflict in Yemen, the serious internal conflict in Yemen, and there was no lawyer. Then the judge appointed a local lawyer from the legal service authority who could not discuss with her in a proper language. So the language barriers, the internal conflict, this led to her capital punishment there.
But is a death sentence a rare punishment that has been awarded for this alleged murder, or is it as per, as you explained earlier, Sharia law?
See, actually, what had happened is she is accused in the murder case, as well as mutilating the body of the deceased.
Yes.
So I spoke to her personally. She said this happened. She was trying to sedate him and to get her passport to run away from there. So the sedative was overdosed, and he unfortunately the victim passed away. So she said, "Sir, I committed that. I agreed that I committed this crime, but I did not mutilate the body, or I am not aware of that who has done this." So, but unfortunately, she was accused in both charges, and according to Muslim law, according to Sharia law, the punishment for mutilating the body is bigger than the for the death sentence. So that these facts led to her capital punishment, and which was upheld by both the appellate court and judicial council.
And Ms. Chandran, have you managed to read some of the documentation that was perhaps done by the courts or the prosecution, the local prosecution there? On what basis? Or is it simply, like you said, on the basis of some communication with Nimisha Priya and she's made to sign certain papers? Or is there some evidence that was collected which has led the prosecution to come to this conclusion that she in fact was the one who also mutilated the body?
Actually, unfortunately, the lawyer engaged by the Indian embassy, we repeatedly requested him to provide the trial court judgment, the documents from the trial court. Even if it's in Arabic language, we said we will translate it and we will come to know what kind of charges are there. But till date, the first trial court judgment came in 2020. And thereafter, in 2022, the first appellate court judgment came. Then 23, the Supreme Judicial Council's verdict came. But till now, we have not provided. Every time the lawyer will ask money, and which for the judgments also we have paid $2,000 to the lawyer, but he has not provided the copy of the judgments or any documents. So that's why we are in a very handicapped situation. We are unable to travel to Yemen. There is nobody now, Indian diaspora or no Indian mission is there to help us. So that's why we will have to depend on a single person or a few persons in Yemen, local persons, who are not extending up to our expectation, who are not extending their support to our expectation, even after paying them. Even
and
after
you said $40,000 has already been paid towards some sort of as a pre-negotiation fees.
Yeah, they called it like pre-negotiation fee with the tribal leaders, which we have paid twice in 2 installments. First, we paid $20,000 in the first installment, and in the last Friday we paid $20,000 as the final installment, which they have demanded. And still, we didn't get any kind of relief through these negotiators or the mediators. So now only as being the major stakeholder in this issue, the government of India should intervene. The MEA can intervene. MEA can request the Yemeni government to find out the victim's family. And we repeatedly say that we repeatedly request the government that government should intervene. We are ready to pay the amount, whatever amount the family demands. We are ready to raise from the society, and we will pay that. Government need not to pay a single penny for that blood money.
Okay, all right. Mrs. Subhash Chandran, thank you so much for joining us to take us through those pertinent details.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.